How do we deal with anger? One of the things that always gets brought up sometimes is, especially amongst my students, is I get too angry or I have anger issues, and that's things that sometimes they'll express to me. And the one thing that I say to them is that, well, one, it's good that you understand or you have awareness of the fact that you have the tendency to get angry often, and that you're willing to make a change about it, which is step number one. But number two is, how often do you recognize when you're angry as it's actually happening in the actual moment of you yelling at somebody? Do you even recognize it? And so we may find ourselves that I may yell at somebody, I may say something really offensive, and then maybe a couple minutes afterwards from the conversation, or maybe an hour later, I may say to myself, why did I say that? Or I can't believe I said that. Or you're apologizing to the person saying, look, I lost control. And I think that right there is the number one thing, is the loss of control. So who lost control? And in the conversation, if I'm really angry and I have no idea that I'm angry, I mean, you're angry, but you don't even realize the things you are thinking. You become one with the thinking mind, right? With the pattern of what you're thinking. So you're just saying things. And a lot of times we say things we really don't mean. But we're not even conscious of the fact of what we're saying until afterwards. And so really the key to kind of addressing anger issues or the tendency to overreact is you have to have awareness of the fact of that I'm angry. But in the actual moment that it's taking place. So if you're in a conversation and there's an argument and you know that you're getting angry, one is to bring awareness to the body itself. So for me personally, I know that, if there was an argument to happen or I seem to lose control, right? I feel the tendency in my stomach, and maybe I feel it leads into my chest and my throat. And then there's pressure like in my head. And that's the signal for me that when I bring awareness to that, it means that, hey, you're about to lose control. Or maybe say something I don't mean to say in that moment. And that's all it takes, is for you to have that recognition that, okay, I'm about to lose control. So I bring awareness to my body. And funny enough that if you can feel the sensations of what happens when you get angry, or even when you're depressed, or when you're anxious, that when you bring awareness to the feelings of the body, the funny thing is that you take yourself out of the stream of thinking, right? Out of the thought process. Because it's only when you're losing control as you're yelling or when you're in a tantrum that you're identified completely with the thought. But when you step back, bring awareness to the body, and actually just let yourself, in a sense, be with the feeling. Like, can you see yourself being angry, right? Can you see yourself being depressed? Just seeing, meaning, can you recognize the emotions? Can you just watch the thoughts that are crossing your mind? Can you separate that? And when you separate that, then you realize that you're not the things that you're saying, and you're not the things that you're thinking. That they become two different things. And therefore, you start to see that maybe what I'm saying is false, right? The anger is not true. I'm not really speaking truth. It may sound true, but it's not. It's a fraction of the truth. And so, in order to move past this whole anger issue and things like that, is to really bring awareness to the body. And funny, when you bring awareness to it, you become the feeling. You take your mind out of the thinking. You are the anger, and therefore you're just experiencing the moment. So if you could understand what I'm trying to say here, is like, if I can experience being angry, just not trying to control it. I'm not trying to suppress it, because the act of trying creates even more suffering. right? The more I can't talk to you right now, and you just start going off in like a crazy tangent to try to suppress the feeling that you're having. It's actually to take a deep breath, just be with the actual feelings that you are, feel it, and observe. And there's a difference there when you actually are experiencing it versus trying to be the two separate things of trying to fix it, correct it, suppress it, do something different. Just be with it. And you'll be surprised that the more you try to do that, the more control you're going to have. And therefore, you won't be out of control. You'll be in control of how you're feeling.